Hey guys, welcome back to another stream. Say Najarro here. We're gonna take a quick look at some stocks. We're gonna see what's happening in the market. Earnings season is back, and I'm super excited for that. We're gonna take a look at what earnings we have today. And like always, guys, feel free to post on the comments and let me know what type of stocks you guys want to take a look at. It's been a long. I feel like the weekend was super long, but I guess maybe it's because I missed Friday's stream. But let's see. Let's get everything started real quick. Like I said, hope everybody had a good weekend. And let's get to see what's happening in the market. So first, like I mentioned, right, big earnings week. This week I want to say it's the beginning. Normally in the beginning we get the big banks. So we have JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. On tomorrow we have Bank of America, Wells Fargo on Wednesday. We also have a few airlines. We have Delta. I think there's going to be a few more airlines coming out. I want to say this upcoming week. Yeah, we have Delta. I guess not. But then on Thursday, pretty excited if you are into like the semiconductor industry. TSMC is gonna report, which is also pretty interesting. Then you have your Morgan Stanley, and I got a lot more banks. I think most people are excited for the upcoming week, though. Upcoming week, we have, for example, Big Tech. IBM is doing Monday, July 19th. So that's going to be interesting. We have Netflix. We have United, Verizon, Coca-Cola, Snap. I know a lot of people aren't Snap, Twitter, Intel. So, I mean, it's starting to get to that time right now where we get that online, um, online earnings season. And I don't think I'm sharing right now. My bad. So here, you guys should be. Oops, I think you guys were actually able to see. So give me 1 second, guys. Let me just finish setting up. And like I said, if you guys want to request any stock, feel free to post on the comments. Let's just see how the market is doing. So right now the Dow is up 0.2%, right? It's not pretty much a flat day. We have Nasdaq down 0.09. We have the S&P 500 up 0.1%. Denise, yeah, my bad. I thought for some reason I thought I wasn't sharing. I wasn't sharing properly. But yeah, we have some great earnings. I think I'm more excited for next week. I like to see Netflix, even though I don't own Netflix. I like to see Netflix. I like to see Snapchat. Is anybody excited for earnings this week? Then the last week of the following week after that, we have some big names, right? Apple. We have Facebook, PayPal. I want to see, is AMD up here yet? I don't know if they gave a date on their earnings. But I'm excited. I love earnings season. I learned to see. I enjoy seeing what a company is up to. Like I said, if you guys want me to take a look at any stocks, feel free to post. I just want to take a quick look at the map right now. What's happening? Everything is pretty much flat. If it's red, it's a little red. If it's green, it's a little green. Nothing. Tesla is killing it, up 2.5%. Nvidia again is up 1.6%. I know I feel like a lot of people might have gotten spooked out after the recent dip, but it's pretty crazy how the stock is back over 800. Let's see my overall portfolio right now, how that's doing. Space. Wow, Space actually took a hit, down 14.6%. CPI data tomorrow, SB. I'm guessing that's why the market is pretty quiet, right? SB, they're just kind of waiting for news. Good morning, Gordon. How's it going? Hope everybody here had a good weekend. So Space, right? We saw the great video yesterday. I'm surprised, but it's always one of those things, right? Like it's buy the rumor, sell the rumors. Well, what is it? Just don't buy the rumors, sell the news. But Space is down 14% right now after the launch that they did yesterday. Proterra is also down a nice amount. This is in the EV space. I actually wouldn't mind putting a watch on this for later on. I already talked about the 4 stocks I'm planning on buying this week. But Proterra might, if it stays around this level, it might make it for next week. Wow, so things are actually pretty red in my portfolio. We have Jumia down. I don't have a big position. Magnite is down 6% again. Upwork had a crazy day. It's a bit overextended, but it's down. Any green right now? So we have Tesla, we have Disney up, we have Nvidia up. Nvidia is still doing amazing. Activision is also up. Google, but it seems to be mainly a red day today. What's going on, Julie? Good morning, bro. Hoping for a green week. Let's hope. Things are not starting off. I think everybody's just waiting for earnings season as well. I know SB just mentioned CPI, but I also, I mean, early on during earnings season, people really want to see how the market reacts to good and bad news. So I think that's also gonna be reasons why we're pretty quiet this week. So hopefully banks show some good reports. I personally don't have banks, but I do think banks give you a good insight of what's happening in the overall economy or in the past quarter, which can help us see some of our future companies and how they might perform. Uh, But let's see what's trending on StockTwits right now. Anything in here? TSM going to kill it. That's going to help semis for sure. UiPath, Gordon. Wow, that one's down a nice amount. That one's one I'm not into, Gordon, right now, but I wouldn't mind entering a bit. So UiPath, it's one that I feel for right now. It's one of those stocks where I feel a bit early in form of valuations. It's still pretty heavily valued, but I do believe in the future if they maintain the leadership that they have, it can be a really really big winner. So UiPath is actually, thanks for showing me this one, Gordon. I might do. Yeah, Kathy Wood is buying a lot. A lot of investors I actually know that are in the innovative market outside of Kathy, are actually up a lot, are buying this like no tomorrow. And these are people that I've seen been right about a lot of other stocks. So there's certain investors I follow, not follow on buys, but keep an eye on what they're doing. But there's no real, it doesn't seem there's a real reason why the stock price is down. UiPath, I've definitely done a few videos on these. If you guys um, haven't heard of UiPath, I've done a few videos on them. I enjoy them to some extent. Again, I think the biggest thing for me is just their valuation at the moment. But what else do we have? Anything up? Proterra's down 13.4%. I want to see what's happening here. Space, like we saw, I honestly was shocked. Space was that it is down this much right now. Nothing else. Any other names? Is this Rocket Mortgage? Rocket Companies is down about. I don't know if that's Rocket Mortgage, but this one's down 4% right now. So that's also pretty interesting. So give me 1 second, guys. I think there we go. So let's see. Julie, you think TSMC is gonna do good? I mean, the only thing I'm worried about the semiconductor industry, again, nowhere near advice, is oops, TSM, right? Actually, no. TSM is one of the few there's a few semiconductor companies that are nowhere near overextended. TSM is actually looking pretty good right now. This is not one I have. Maybe one I should keep looking at right now. But my main plays right now are Nvidia and AMD in the semiconductor industry. But TSM, yeah, I'm really waiting for that earnings. Unfortunately, I'm hoping it's not something like Micron Technologies where they kind of dropped off after earnings. Right, that was probably the big first semiconductor company that went. 2 weeks ago, I think Micron went, and they dropped pretty nice, a pretty hefty amount after earnings. So hopefully we don't see that with TSM. Space, more like digging to the core. It's crazy. I mean, but still, right, Julie? Space. Yeah, I thought their earnings were good. They beat expectations. They beat a lot of things. A lot of. I personally thought their earnings were good. It wasn't a bad earnings at all. Um, so I was shocked that they dropped so much after. Again, I don't think right now. I think right now is. I personally enjoy it at these levels. I don't have the stocks, but I do enjoy it at these levels. So hopefully, I think just the overall market right now. They announced a 5 mil stock sale. SB, who's that? Who was that? Space? Thank you, SP. Yep, that Space. Virgin Galactic falls after it gets set to sell 500 million in stock following Branson's successful launch. Hmm, that's an interesting move. Very interesting move for sure. I wonder what I want to see this. Did they mention 500 in stock following? This is pretty interesting. Shares which traded on fell 8% after 500 million in stocks announcement came from the company's blah blah. Mm, the company. Good for the company, but maybe not for investors in short terms. Agree. Yeah, I mean, I thought this company from where I remember previously, it had a very strong balance sheet. So I'm kind of interested to see what they're willing to do with that extra money. So they probably have it here. I might talk about that later on. They actually haven't mentioned it here either. Yeah, they doo -doo. Or they just throw it out here. I just want to see what's going on. Q, how's it going? And I agree. It's good for the company. All right. I mean, this is always a weird thing. It's good for the company. In the short term of things, it's not good for investors, especially those that just are in it for a short term period. But I don't mind if getting for a company to build up its balance sheet, right? Let's take a quick look at Simply Wall Street. I want to see what their balance sheet was looking like before this. So in their most recent earnings, let's take a quick look at Virgin Galactic. So guys, and are you guys planning on buying anything this week? Let's take a look at financial health. See, they already had a nice balance sheet, right? They had no debt to their name, and they had about $600 million in cash and short-term investments. So I don't I'm kind of upset they don't have it in their investors relations website that they're selling those 500 million shares or $500 million worth of shares. But I want to because I want to see what they're thinking of doing in that with that money. But SB, thanks for giving me that insight. Let's see what else. Anything crazy happening right now? Let's take a quick look at screeners. What are stocks that might be this week? I will buy CHPT. Is that ChargePoint, Cake, and Facebook? Nice. Let me take a. I don't HPS HPT. That's ChargePoint Holdings. Okay. All right. This one has definitely taken a nice beating recently, right? So you're pretty bullish in the I see in the EV market charging stations. Jenny's, that's pretty cool. Market I'm still not into too much. Cake stock. I don't think I've heard of this one. Oh, the Cheesecake Factory. You're okay. Um, this is one of the few restaurants or chains I don't think I've ever eaten at. So maybe that's why I've never looked at it. They did get a price update today, right? I believe. Says buy the dip in restaurant. Yeah. Okay. So I saw someone was kind of giving it some form of bullish case on it. But we can see right from it's still up a nice amount from but it took a nice dip. This is the only thing that I find sometimes a little bit weird. I don't get how some of these companies are worth more than they were pre-COVID, right? I think that's a bit weird. Have they improved margins overall? What's the update on Chinese stocks since last time? I mean, I don't think there's any new updates. A lot of them have still taken quite a hit. I'm pretty sure. Let's take a quick look, right? I feel like maybe they might have pulled up a bit, right? So they're up from their lows. For example, Baba we have here. We have Tencent. Um, we have Tencent, right? A little bit higher than from their bottom. Oops, I don't want to move that. Tencent is up. So all of them, they're still pretty low, but at least they're higher than their pre-bottom. I still enjoy them, right? I still enjoy Chinese stocks. Q just seems like he bought some. He added in this morning to his positions. At the same time, right, these companies are very volatile. So no matter how cheap they get, I will still only keep them. I stay to my rule, right? 15% of my portfolio, 20% at most. It's just what I would do. So at the moment, I'm just increasing into the big game, my big players. I don't know. I think I added Tencent a week ago. I don't think I added anything this past Thursday, or actually this past Thursday was when I added Tencent. I don't think I'm gonna add any this week. I'll probably wait for next week to kind of offset some buying opportunities. And today, I think Huya reported 36 viewers. Let's go. Drop that Discord, Jose. Julie, is it really that much right now? I don't think so. But thanks, guys. If you guys are here, welcome. Feel free to post on the. Feel free to post any stocks you guys want to take a look at. I take a look at any stocks, and I just give my overall opinions. Right, I've been investing here for over 7 years, I think now. And it's definitely, I have some experience under my belt. Fraser, you really like JD, Alibaba, and Samsung. Samsung is on the UK exchange, great dividend and well priced. Do you think Samsung is a good company? I mean, Samsung is a household name, right, Fraser? I'm pretty sure everyone has heard of Samsung. I personally have never looked at their stock, Fraser. But let's see. Maybe let's see what we can find out about Samsung. So, like you mentioned, it's the Samsung Electronics. This is a South Korean company. Um, Basher or Baskar, my bad, Baskar. You're looking about Roblox for sure. Um, you know the Chinese government put their bank under pressure to be lending the consumers without keeping cash in the bank. Yeah, Q. So I talked about that in one of the one of the videos last week. How Chinese government was easing the reserve requirement. So I mean that's usually times when you want to fuel the economy. So I do think, I mean, we've seen a lot of news reports lately that the overall market has kind of, the Chinese market is probably going to take a nice gain in the next few weeks because of that. I mean, uh, QE, quantitative easing is great for stock prices, right? So I saw that was some big news, Q, that they are easing stuff. Why don't you have a donation system? You know, it should come out. I don't know why it doesn't, Fraser. It actually should be there. I'm not sure why it's not. I have to work on it. Oh, you actually have it on YouTube. You should. If you're watching me through YouTube, Fraser, you could donate through there. There should be like a money signal. Again, I mean, if you, I'm never gonna force anyone to try it, but it so you should be able to see like a money sign on it. Besides that, that's the only thing I feel comfortable having right now. But let's see, Samsung's right. So Samsung market cap, I want to take a look at it over the counter. So I don't think it's even traded in the United States over the counter. It's a filler sign on the right for the Apple products. Thanks, Q. Appreciate it. But we can see Samsung future growth. This company is expected to grow 7% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. Not a huge grower, right? But this is a huge company already. So what are you getting with them? You're getting super positive in cash flow from operations. You're getting super positive in earnings. So you're not getting that high growth. So this is a company where I would consider this a mature value, where it's a big company, but it's still growing at crazy at some decent levels. If you take a look at their financial health, what are they doing? They have plenty of cash, 131 trillion in their local currency, and they barely have any debt compared to that cash and short-term investments. And sorry, I think the emergency vehicles just passed by, so that might have been a bit loud. So their financials are looking pretty cool. Let's take a quick look, right? So Q, you're saying they're only traded in ETF, and let me show you guys this pretty cool exposure tool. So if you go to Google and you put ETF stock exposure tool, there's this one called ETF DB. So this one's pretty cool. I don't know if it will show up because it's not. Actually, it's not. So that it only shows the most popular stocks here. But let's see, ETFs, Samsung, ETF. What are some positions or ETFs that hold Samsung? How to buy Samsungs through ETFs. Okay. But these are some pretty cool ETFs if you want to own Samsung. This is not, I mean, I personally would enjoy holding things like Apple or Google here in the United States. I don't own Apple, but I think I would prefer that one over Samsung right now. So let's see, what does anybody have any questions? We were saying, so Ford, what do you think about pins? So Pinterest, I mean, if we take a look at fundamentals, Pinterest looks pretty interesting for sure. They're a huge grower. We can see market cap $49 billion. If we take a look at future growth, they're expected to grow 26.4% on average, right? They're right now they're almost profitable in GAAP earnings, but they are positive in cash flow from operations, so I do like that. They do have a strong financial health. They have no debt to their name and about $2 billion in cash and short-term investments as their most recent earnings. If we take a look at their overall, let's take a look at Pinterest here, right? So Pinterest, if we take a quick look at technicals, I do want to say right now the stock price, yes, I'm still in Magnite, I'm still in Magnite, still looking. I know the stock is down today. That might be one of my buys for next week. I haven't seen what the recent news is, but that one, Jose, your stock picks are on fire. Bad fire or good fire? I hope good fire. And David, what's going on, David? But Pinch, right? I want to say Pinterest right now. The only real thing I see is a bit overextended. If I take a look at my overall markets, let's take a quick look at Y charts. Let's see how this company is looking in form of valuations. So let's look pins. Let's cancel this price to sales ratio. And let's also take a look at forward EV to EBITDA. And let's look at this in panels per financial. Good fire, David. That's awesome to hear. Yeah, I'm really happy right now with how the stocks I'm buying are doing. There's always good days and there's always bad days. I'm about to buy Magnite. So yeah, so I do. Magnite is one I recently started adding into apps. I'm on. That was my new position. I think last week was my new position on apps. That's the one I think I'm focusing on a bit more, but that's because I already have a position size in Magnite. I'm trying to build a similar position on apps. But if we take a look at Pinterest, right, price to sales ratio 13.8. I want to say it's a bit overvalued compared to where it's been, but if you take a look at EV to EBITDA forward, it tells you a different. I know you are on Huya. Any idea of why it's dropping? Let me finish this real quick on Pinterest. So Pinterest, I want to say the biggest impact is this upcoming quarter. I think this upcoming quarter is gonna have a lot of movement on companies like Netflix, like Pinterest, like Etsy, because this is the earnings where the market, especially here in the United States, the United States kind of opened back up, and we get to see how are users still going to be using these platforms? Is there a decrease of users? Are users spending less money? So I do believe this upcoming earnings is going to be a very, very big mover for companies like Pinterest, like Etsy, like Netflix. So I think there's so much unknown to see how the consumers are using their applications. So Huya stock, right? David Becker, Huya stock is down today. They just announced, even though I talked about it last week, that the overall there were talks that the merger was rejected. Today it was finalized. So Chinese streaming firm Doju terminates their merger with Huya. So I do believe that's probably one of the main reasons Huya is down. Huya is down 1.85%. Doju is down, I think, a lot more. This one's down 6.79%. And I do believe the reason Doju is down a little bit more than Huya is because there were a few investors that were buying Doju instead of Huya, because if you would have bought Doju, it was valued less, and once it would have merged to Huya, you would have owned more Huya. So it was smarter if the merger would have happened, if you wanted to enter through Huya, to buy Doju, right? It made more sense. It was cheaper in form of when the stocks will change. But now that they're not merging, those people that wanted to get into Huya and through Doju, I think this is what's over making this huge drop in Doju. So Doju and Huya are down. Let's see. I mean, you guys talked about a few stocks. Let's take a quick look at Roblox. So Roblox right now, it's another gaming company. This is one I enjoy. I'm not in it. I'm not in Roblox, but it is a gaming company I do enjoy. Market cap $48.8 billion. I mean, from its 52-week high, the stock is down about 14.27%. But in the past, it's just a recent IPO. This is one of the few IPOs right now that are still up. Even after a small correction, Roblox looking pretty good. If we take a look at their fundamentals, again, this is another stock that, hey, how are consumers going to be now that things are opening back up? Are they going to see a decrease in monthly active users? Are they going to see a decrease in people spending money? And I think that's what's really affecting some of these stocks. So I do believe this earnings season will give us at least a good insight of what's to come. So right now we can see this company is not profitable in form of GAAP earnings, but they're super positive in cash flow from operations, and that is one reason I really enjoy Roblox and the overall gaming market. If you take a look at their financial health, they have plenty of cash, $1.6 billion in cash, no debt to their name. If we take a look at technicals for Roblox, right? Roblox right now, not too overextended. I mean, it's a bit overextended from a short term, a bit, but not too heavy. If I was to buy into Roblox, I would probably just do small additions over time, because I do believe Roblox still has Blackout. What is it? Blackout period? No. What's the do congrats. Oh, so congrats. There is no for how long? Thanks. No black. What is the IPO? I forget what it's called when I lockup period. Does I don't think it does. Does Roblox have a lockup period? Um, yeah, lockup expiration is for Roblox September 6th of 2021. Um, yeah, Roblox is played by all your seven. Huge potential for sure. I mean, Roblox is a huge player in the gaming market for sure. And they're kind of increasing the age. We saw Netflix, right? Netflix. Let's take a look at Roblox. Roblox, Stranger Things. We saw Roblox kind of just did the Come on, I want to see Roblox, Stranger Things. Come on, let me just go to Roblox. But I think we're gonna start seeing a lot of. I just want to see the damn games. Come on, Roblox. Boom, 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 boom. Experience. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so this is the start. Right now they have about 2,000 people playing at this time, and it's early in the morning. So Roblox is pretty interesting for sure. Netflix made the game out of here. I do believe we're gonna see a lot of new media companies doing this often as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have more individual Netflix content on Roblox. So let's see. I mean, what's happening? Anything else happening in the market right now? If you guys want me to take a look at any stocks, feel free to post. So CNBC, right? Virgin Galactic, we saw stock has fallen after the $500 million share sale. Anything else happening today? Just earnings, like I mentioned. I don't know if you guys were here. Skyworks and Drop DBX. All right, Q. We can definitely take a look at those two as well. For those not knowing, earnings seasons are back. Right, we have Tuesday this week. It's gonna be mainly big banks. You have your JP Morgan, you have Goldman Sachs tomorrow. On Wednesday, you have Bank of America, and you got Wells Fargo. You on Thursday, you have Morgan Stanley. So we have a few banks coming out on this week. I'm not a fan. I don't have banks in my account, but I do like to look at them just to see what's happening in the overall market. I think the only one I'm super excited is Thursday is TSMC. Then we have next week. Next week is going to be pretty cool, right? We have IBM, we have Netflix, we have Chipotle, we have Coca-Cola, Snapchat, Twitter, Intel. So it's going to be definitely interesting. So Frankie, did you buy MYPS? So I do have a position, Frankie, on MYPS. I only buy, so those videos I do this past Saturday, I'm pretty sure you're talking about my Saturday video. I purchased on Thursdays from them. So I due to, right, it's a rule I have, a disclaimer, Frankie. If I post a stock about it, it can't be seen like I'm pumping the stock. So for that, I have to wait like 3 days before I buy a stock. So it's not like I'm trying to pump it or anything. So I normally buy and sell stocks on Thursday. So I'm still holding on Huya. I'm thinking of buying MYPS this upcoming Thursday. That's what I talked about in my video. Dropbox needs to do something. Love their service, but it's free, so they can't make money. I feel like Dropbox Iman has become a whole different company nowadays. Dropbox is no longer just a clouding market. It has really kind of moved into like the enterprise world. So maybe for you as us as a consumer, as a single user, they might not be trying to monetize us, but as in the enterprise world, they have really come up with some great products, I believe, and that's why Dropbox has been doing amazing. Steve, you're long Dropbox. Maybe you can correct me, right? I think a lot of people still think of Dropbox as just a cloud maintenance place, right, where you put all your products. But I know I feel like they're moving into the enterprise world, and that's where they're making a good portion of their revenue. So Alberto Tremor International. We'll take a look at that. Yeah. So Frankie, I'm planning on buying Play Studios this upcoming Thursday. Are you still holding Xavier? Yes, still holding Huya. No, even I was long Huya before the merger. I'm gonna be long Huya even though this merger is not happening. Um, that is one I might be thinking of making it into my next week's buy. Are you in 3D? What's going on, John? I'm not in 3D printing stocks at the moment. The one I'm more familiar with is the butterfly one. Which one is that? And then Nano Dimensions. That's probably the only 3D printing I know a lot. There's definitely a few I've talked about in this channel, but I don't think I'm in any individual 3D printing market. Nano Dimension, I am an electrical engineer. So this is one I really understood. I really understood and I enjoyed, but I never really got into the stock. But we can see it's definitely seen quite a pullback from its 57 from its 52-week high. John, are you in any 3D printing stocks, John? I still believe it's a little early in this market for sure. That the 3D printing, just like I feel right now, I'm more my early market that I'm in right now. I want to say is the augmented reality. Um, yeah, it's pretty cool. Akiar, I checked out the reviews on Play Studios, and they got great reviews. Like I don't know if I put it in my video, but one of my best friends, we were in Vegas a month ago, and he out of nowhere, he didn't know Play Studios was a company I liked. He didn't know Play Studios was a company I was looking into, and out of nowhere, he showed up. He's like, "Yeah, I used this game from Play Studios," and I'm like, "Wow, that's pretty interesting." And he says he's got good experience from it. So I'm happy to see that, right, from someone I had no intentions of talking about a company. It just came out. So, and I'm happy to see that you see great reviews about it. So, are you? Do I like Vuzix? Um, I do like it, right? So Vuzix is definitely a great play in my opinion for me in the overall augmented reality market. It's very early stages, so very early. This is something that if it was it's not in my portfolio, but if it was to enter in my portfolio, it would be a small position. I mean, I can definitely see great plays. And I mentioned it in my video. I do believe augmented reality is now really making moves. Is you have stuff like not Adobe, like Unity AR, right? So Unity now you can do a lot of stuff with augmented reality through Unity, and Unity is such an easy platform to use. At my old job, a lot of engineers were kind of working on augmented reality projects through Unity. Another one is Autodesk, right? Autodesk, this is a platform that every mechanical engineer probably knows, right? And a lot of industrial, maybe even some architecture engineers know. And they have also released a lot of augmented reality tools and virtual reality tools. So I do believe the world is moving to that virtual reality and augmented reality products. So that's why I do think Vuzix right now might be very volatile, but it could be a definite winner in the long term of things. I've seen a lot of big investors in the innovative market also buying Vuzix. Maybe I might wait out a bit more on Vuzix. This might make it for my next week. Vuzix and UiPath are two I'm thinking about entering new positions. So, Q, you 100% agree. The e-sign is more than enough. One of few cloud companies have been in the market with big players since then, and current and future value is way lower than competitors, in your opinion. Yeah, so Dropbox, I mean, Dropbox recently has just exploded. It was super quiet for the longest. It was in that 24 range for like years, I want to say. It felt like years. But look at that. I want to say the stock is now a bit quite overextended. Doesn't mean it's going to pull back. But there is that risk. But look, it's in the 30s now. I don't think I was ever going to see Dropbox the way it was moving ever reach 30s. But this is patience, right? Patience sometimes. If people bought in the low 20s for a long time, now you're already up, what, 20-30% on a strong company. So Curie, I mean, Curie is one I haven't really looked at. It's still in my portfolio. There's certain stocks that, even though they're in my portfolio, I kind of wait off a bit before looking into them. So Curie is such a small position. It's not one of my high convictions. I'd rather focus on other ones. No intentions of selling Curie. I might take a look at their most recent earnings. But overall, I did like it when I purchased it, so have no intentions of selling at the moment. might later on, after I finish maybe closing my position on, not closing, finishing opening up my position on apps, maybe on Vuzix, maybe on UiPath, I might make my way down to Curie. At the moment, it's so new to the field that I think I still have time before really making a move on Curie and building up my position even more. All red on your portfolio. What's going on, Pilly? So all red on your portfolio except your carrier global stocks. Yeah, I know the feeling, right? I'm all red today except Tesla is up today. That's actually funny. Tesla is one I talked about. Redfin is also up on my recent videos. Redfin is up 0.7%. I forgot the other ticker. It was Play Studios and what was the other one I talked? So it was Play Studios, it was Tesla, it was Redfin. Man, did you guys? I forgot what was the other one. Whew. What's going on, Polly? How's it going? And Ed, yeah, Autodesk is awesome. I think Autodesk is just moving to a great market. Adobe too, right? Adobe is another one that they've kind of really moved into that subscription service market. Teladoc, thank you, Gordon. I forgot. Man, sometimes I just look at too many stocks and I forget which ones. But those are the four I'm planning on buying this upcoming week. Gordon, that was great. Thank you for that. So unfortunately, that one's not on green right now. But it's not that red right now. Teladoc, I do believe it's sitting at some attractive levels for long-term investments. I like this. I like when it's sitting next to its long-term moving average. I believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. So what else? Did you say you were buying apps? So Great Stock Vortex, yes, that was some stock I opened up my position this past Thursday. So apps is one that I opened up last week. I'm not buying this week on apps. I think next week I'm going to add again. So it could be it's going to be a repetitive. Sometimes I don't mind waiting a week after I bought a position and see how price moves. So apps is one I'm waiting for next week. I purchased last week. I'm in at 65. I think I'm around similar levels, right? So I purchased around whatever it's been in the past few days. So somewhere in the mid to low 60s. Great Stock Vortex. It's one, and I'm enjoying it, right? I really the amount of acquisitions they've done have been pretty impressive. So I'm happy, even though some of you guys have probably been in this one a lot longer because I've talked about it earlier on. I still like it at these levels. Can you do videos on how to do DD, technical analysis, how to read balance sheets like a series? So I am in the process of making something like this, of just having all the information that I know. Unfortunately, on YouTube, those kind of do really bad. No one really cares about stuff like that. And sometimes doing really bad videos that I know are going to do bad end up hurting my channel. So those barely get a few hundred views. And unfortunately, for those reasons, it's not reason for me to put it on YouTube. But I am working on something similar for that, like a series on it, and I'll let you know, when something like that comes out. So let's see, how's the markets? Market's still pretty red. I'm so any recent news on Tesla? Why stock up 3.78% minus the reason I did a video yesterday? Is there Disney is also up? Disney was also gonna make the list on it. Buy altcoins. Yeah, Xavier, that that's the thing. Yeah, top 3 stocks. That's exactly what everybody just cares about. So unfortunately, right now, right, I'm trying to do a best of both worlds, right? I'm trying to do videos that are informative. Like I feel like all my videos have a lot of information behind them, but at the same time still make it what people want to see. And I do like those interviews as well, where we get a little different perspective of other investors, just to see how the overall market is doing, and try to share all the experience and knowledge I have. So is anybody what is anybody planning on buying this week? What are you guys thinking about buying? I want to have some stocks I want to add to my watch list. Anybody buying anything from crypto to stocks to anything else? Yeah, Ethereum off 51% from your highs. Get in where you fit in. Oh, nice, Xavier. That was actually perfect timing for you. So for you, Ethereum, Apple, and AMD. That's actually a pretty impressive. I don't know if impressive. Pretty good. I mean, I like it, right? I definitely like that a lot. Um, all right, I'm not much in the crypto market, but I see a lot of people really bullish in Ethereum. Apple and AMD are two. A lot of investors. I'm more in the AMD type of guy. Gordon, Posh. Which one is Posh? Have we? Is that Poshmark? I'm not sure what they do exactly. It's definitely taken a nice hit recently. I want to see what that's doing. Posh, Poshmark. They operate as a social marketplace for new and secondhand style products in the United States, Canada, and Australia. Hmm. Okay, so you purchase, buy, and sell and discover fashion, home decor, beauty, and more. Gordon, do you know people that use Poshmark? I actually don't. Does anybody has anybody here used Poshmark or their cousins, their wives, their husbands? If you own ARK, you own crypto. If you own Tesla, you own crypto. If you own Square, you own crypto. It's only a matter of time before Apple, Walmart, Google starts buying. Very true. I mean, you could definitely put that Xavier into it. I mean, I do own some crypto as well. But at the same time, right? If you own cars, you don't own a huge position of crypto. If you own Tesla, you don't own a huge position of crypto. But you do own to some extent. She prefers the real over Posh. Is that I don't know? Okay, hmm. Pretty interesting. Let's take a quick look at Poshmark. So valuation $3 billion market cap. Future growth, they're expected to grow 22.8% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. They are profitable in cash flow from operations. That's something I enjoy a lot. If you take a look of if you take a look at their balance sheet, they have plenty of cash and no debt. So Posh definitely looks pretty interesting. And that's pretty interesting. 574 million cash and short-term investments in the market cap of $3 billion. So what is that? About a little bit less than 20%, like 15% of their market cap is actually being covered by by cash, and they are positive in cash flow from operations, which is super bullish too. So fundamentally, valuation wise, they don't look half bad. Overall, different in form of market. And wow, that's crazy, Xavier. 4 of the top 10 ARK holdings own crypto. Very true. So I mean, I'm not saying like the crypto market is not one that's gonna grow for sure. Um, like Etsy over Posh. Um, but yeah, we can see definitely big players in the past year. I mean, even some of the people like I think Motley Fool just invested a lot. Obviously, I think in February they bought like X amount of million in Bitcoin as well. So you see a lot of big players doing it. So great stock. You like Etsy over Posh? Man, I can't catch in mode. Someone, Aaron, I know we talked about that one. In mode. Um, I feel like we've talked about this one. Up over 10% today. Posh price has been tanking since IPO for sure. Where was it on the comments, Aaron, or did we talk about it in the live stream? I forgot. Um, I forgot what happened. Did we go over it to some extent? I don't remember. S Sentinel, Jose. Yes, I've heard of that one live stream. You really liked it. Okay. See, this is the problem sometimes with my live streams is we go through so many stocks that sometimes I forget. Um uh so I remember. Did we even in mode stock? I mean, it's crazy, right? I honestly forget what they do. They work in the medical field. Mhm. But yeah, I saw this trending today, Aaron. So you've been waiting for a pullback, right? And I'm pretty sure that's probably one of the things I wasn't happy about it is it might have looked a bit overextended. But again, just actually, yeah, a bit over, not too much though. But remember, yeah, overextension doesn't mean it's gonna be a pullback. It's just that there is the risk. And I remember it now because I mentioned this. I think I remember this. I mentioned that it looked really nice right here. Eventually, it touches. Um, but that's pretty cool. So in mode, um, and sometimes even when the stock is overextended to kind of release that fear of missing out, even a small position can kind of help tame a lot of the emotions. So Spotify is on sale. I really do like Spotify, Xavier. Sentinel One, Jose, right? This is one I haven't really looked at. Sentinel One. It is in the cybersecurity. Which EMAs are those? So these I use the EMAs that I use. Let's take a quick look. Are the 50, the 20, and the 200. Xavier. But the way I do it, it's a bit different, right? I think everybody has their own method. I use the 3-day time frame. To me, the 3-day time frame for a long-term investor, I enjoy the most. I believe a good portion of the noise has been eliminated. So these are the EMAs I use, and and again the 3-day time frame, and then I use my volume profile as well. Pretty much all I use. I'm not big in technicals. This is probably the last thing I do before investing, right? Literally the last thing. It has such a small movement of when I buy a stock, but I just like to look at stock price movements for sure. So what else do we have? Spotify is on sale. I do think Spotify is one I enjoy a lot right now. This was a tier 1 stock for me in 2020, so I built up a decent position in Spotify. Prices went up in Europe in June for the first time in over 10 years. Maybe in the US too, but haven't checked. I don't think I pay for monthly. I pay on it monthly. I haven't seen my costs go up, but I haven't really noticed. Maybe they might. I know they were at the moment. They still haven't. I don't think in the United States they still have. That's a pretty impressive price range, 110 or 440. Pretty impressive. So Xavier, seems you do a little more technicals. Like I said, I like to keep it simple. I only look at 2 things: moving average and volume, depending on stock price. Only thing I care about, but at the same time, it really doesn't really dictate on what I buy and sell. You use Amazon Music. I mean, a lot of people, I feel this is one of the risk. You think so, Q? Amazon Music? I don't. I mean, I personally, from all my friends that I listen that I talk to, they only use Apple Music and Spotify. And if they use Apple Music, they're getting persuaded into changing to Spotify. So I've never really heard anyone say I'm gonna turn up Amazon Music. I've really never heard that. I think the only 2 I've ever heard have been Apple Music and Spotify. Yeah. Oh, okay. You were talking on Spotify. You were talking about the Head and Shoulder Q, the Head and Shoulder on Spotify. That was one of the major risks of how it can go anywhere. Yeah, I mean they kind of Aaron, right? I think they work with Facebook now, so now you can even listen through Spotify using your Facebook application. I don't have Facebook, so I wouldn't know. But I thought they were working on ways where you can now use Facebook to kind of listen to Spotify without changing applications. I find playlists from Spotify and then use an app to transfer it to Amazon. I only use it because it's $1 for me and Spotify. Yeah, so that makes 100% sure. Okay. That definitely makes sure. Amazon is not easy to navigate on the free with sub services. They do have a premium service, but I don't have that. Spot lost money of transactions due to different currencies. That's definitely true, right? It's an international play. Definitely an international play, and that currency exchange is a huge risk, and that is for most international companies, right? Yeah, they have connected up with Facebook. All right, guys. So, guys, I think I am going to be ending the stream now. I appreciate you guys, but I got to go work on a few videos. I actually have to go eat breakfast, too. Thank you guys for showing up. Oh, Jose. All right, Jose. Just because you have the same name as me, let's take a quick look at Snow. So, Jose here. And, guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure to hit... Oh, actually, let me share the Discord. I don't think I did that. I always forget, and someone gave me the idea to do it, too. Always forget. I'm pretty sure we dropped a few viewers right now. But this Discord channel, guys, it's free. We have a lot of great investors there that share a lot of insight. And every time I buy and sell, I post it here, right? I'm not charging. I know there's people that charge every time they buy and sell, even a few dollars of shares. I post it for free, almost real time. I think it's like 30 seconds after I purchase or sell a stock. I post there. For those new to me, Jose Najarro, I luckily, not luckily, through hard work and patience, I built up a six-figure portfolio right now. I'm hoping in the next 10 years it will be a seven-figure portfolio. I don't see why it wouldn't. But that's the goal. In the next 10 years, definitely a seven-figure portfolio for sure. Let's see if we can get there earlier than that. But guys, that's the Discord channel. Feel free to join. The big companies are moving these fees to consumers. That sucks, right, Q? For sure. Us consumers, we always take the hit, which is lame. No cap. Do you think NY Times is a good play? Oh well. NY Times in forms of the magazine or the stock, like for for reading material or for stock. I don't really follow it. Welcome to your world, Q. Oh man, Q has been Q, for those that don't know, has been one of the biggest supporters of my channel. And that dude, I appreciate everybody, Xavier, David Becker. I mean, I see you guys here all the time. I see you guys here all the time, so appreciate you guys. Aaron, for sure. Ed, David Becker. I mean, you guys, it's crazy how I know some of you guys already. If you read the agreement, you agree to all the big companies. So appreciate it. But let's take a quick look, right? So we have Jose. He wants to take a look at Snow. So right now, first thing in Snow, what I'm seeing is the stock not too overextended. The stock price is up a nice amount, not too overextended. It's definitely, so I do believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. It doesn't mean the stock can't continue to go down. Obviously, it can. Volatility works in magical ways. It's down 2% today. But I do believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. Obviously, this is one that was superly overvalued. A lot of people still believe it is. Right now, it is 32% down from its 52-week high. If we take a look at Snow in forms of valuation, Snowflake right now, future is expected to grow 35.7% on average. So a huge growth company. They're not profitable in earnings, and they're almost positive in cash flow from operations. This is probably one thing I'm not too happy about. I wish they would have had at least been positive in cash flow from operations, but they're almost there. If you take a look at their financial health, they have about $4 billion in cash, no debt to their name. So fundamentally, they are okay. Strong balance sheet. I wish for a software company, I really wish they were positive in cash flow from operations. One thing I don't like, if we pull up Y charts on Snow, let's take a quick look at what's happening here. Oh, that's not a metric. Securities. Let's take a look at Snow. Let's remove Pinterest. And let's see. So Snowflake right now, EV to EBITDA, since it's not price to sales ratio, if we take a look right now, it's at 42, right? I think this is the biggest bearish case on Snowflake right now. Its price to sales ratio is so high compared to a lot of other software stocks. At the same time, this is also growing at crazy levels, right? 35% for the next 3 to 5 years. I do believe this valuation is going to be a strong reason why this stock is very, very volatile. This is a stock you're expected to see huge dips, right? Like, I mean, today alone is down 2%, but I'm pretty sure it's kind of seen bigger days in the past or worse days in the past, and I believe that is going to maintain. Snowflake as a company, though, I'm not too familiar. Not a position I own. Fundamentals don't look too bad. Technicals don't look too bad. Valuation metric is where I want to say the biggest red flag is at right now, Jose. So hopefully that helped out a bit. Again, not advice, just my overall opinions. But yeah, guys, I just want to say I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll take a quick look tomorrow at the overall market. Hope everybody, even though it's a red day, right? Red days aren't bad. For long-term investors, red days shouldn't really scare us at all. We should just look at what's on deals. But guys, take care. Polly is another one, right, Polly? I forgot you, but Polly, every time I see you, you say welcome, hi. So thank you guys again. Appreciate everybody for the support, and see you tomorrow. And I'll probably post a few videos later tonight. So take care, guys.